first section, task management software. So I think one of the one I
the
use,
most boring thing.
It's boring, but it's actually quite important, right? So
Yes.
let's see. Maybe let's talk first a little bit about kind of the word processing kind of stuff, because I think most people are kind of defaulting these days to let's say Google Docs. So I have that up on my screen, and I use it a lot just because I think it's a default because everybody's using it, right? There's not even like a discussion anymore. It might not be the best thing out there, and it's browser based, right? But it's kind of like everybody has it. You don't need to install anything, so it's the default thing. And I use it. Do you use it?
Well, the good thing about the browser base is because we're sharing this Google Doc right now. We're looking at it together,
Right.
and we can actually work on it together. So that's one really powerful, reason why I use it, and I use Google Calendar, because it's all in one place.
Right.
And I actually have been using the calendars a lot more lately because I've had like multiple freelance jobs.
Exactly.
So, man, having those, reminders and looking at, okay, I can schedule meetings here. I have this due, that due, and it really is helping me organize my life.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I have, so I used to use this thing called Open Office.
Okay, I have that also here. Yeah, openoffice.org.
Yeah. So that is like you were saying, it looks really dated, right? But it is a free software,
right,
that you don't have to buy, like Microsoft 360 or whatever. You don't have to buy that, but you can have a piece of software that can open Word files, Excel files, all that stuff, and work on it locally.
Right. Yeah, that's powerful.
So some people may want to work offline. I don't know. Yeah, so that's an alternative.
And that's one thing we I think need to talk about. Also, just throwing it in here. Since I'm on Apple, on a Mac, I use the whole suite of Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. And it's also good. It has compatibility with Word files or any other kind of Microsoft Office files. And it's free. It comes for free with every Mac. So it's sleek. It also has like these collaboration tools, just like Google does. It has like apps for the phone, for the tablets, for iPads, iPhones. It's on the web as well. So it has a complete web version that works. So you don't need to install anything. So all of these things are helping. But I think what it comes down to, since you introduced OpenOffice, is that these ecosystems like Google or Apple offers, right? It is powerful if you stay within it, right? So for Google, if you have Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Sheets, Docs, Slides, and all this kind of stuff, it all will work together really well, right? And same for Apple, right? I just have Apple products because I like them and they work well. And if I have everything within it, like iCloud accounts and Apple TVs and Apple Photos and iCloud Drive and all these kind of things, it's really, it works really well together. Of course, if you want to step outside of that and bring in different apps, then it becomes a bit tricky. And there's also, I think, let's say if you work together with certain clients, I think there is, let's say you work with a really high profile client, and they don't want any, they're really concerned about their information leaking out or anything, right? They are not too keen on using any of these. So if you say hey, I work with you on Disney or whatever, and hey, can I share you some files on Dropbox? That is not allowed. That will never work. And regardless if it's Dropbox, Google Drive, or whatever, you can't use any of these. So you need to use whatever custom solutions they offer, right? So there's good and bad, I guess, in having everything in the cloud and everything accessible anywhere and synchronized and whatnot. But there are definitely cases, I think, for having offline, disconnected software, just like OpenOffice, right? So but again,
look into it. Make a decision for yourself. But these are things that I've used and I use now, just like what Jan's using, and it has used and is using now. Is there like any other thing we want to cover on this section?
I mean, this is word processing, right? But and you mentioned use Google Calendars. I use some other things. I mean, I use Google Calendar to store the data as well, but to interact with the data, I have a different kind of
what do you use?
Calendar. So it's called Fantastical. Great name. It's actually it's a paid thing.
Is it just for the Mac?
It's just for the Mac, but it is across everything. So it's on iPhone, iPad, even Apple Watch, on the Mac, and it's just the big thing for me is that you can add new things by typing like in like how do you call it? Like you don't have to make an appointment by like clicking and click and drag and add something and choose the time. You can write naturally. So it's like, I have a meeting on Tuesday at 10. You can just write that and it automatically makes that calendar entry for you. So that's neat, and it looks better. And I mean, I use calendar like all the time because again, you have multiple jobs. Like I need to write when I need to pick up my kids from kindergarten. It also serves as a reminder for me to like, okay, I need to work out at like, I don't know, 6 p.m. I need to work out, because if I don't have that in there and set myself a reminder, and dude, I forget that stuff all the time. And I don't know when it's time for like date night, and I don't know, like I need to
wife's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. I need to offload. I mean, it's a way for me to offload and not to. I mean, I can't remember all that stuff, right? So I put it in the calendar, so I get reminded automatically, right? And I mean, it's a simple thing, but I think a lot of people are not using that, and I think it's good because it keeps your brain free for other stuff. So I'd highly recommend. I mean, it doesn't even have to be fantastical, but like any kind of calendar system is, I think, great to use. The other stuff that I use to keep things organized, and it kind of goes in tandem with everything else, is kind of like the reminders and the notes app on the Mac that I use. I mean, every operating system, whether you're like on Android or on Windows or whatever, right? They have their own standard apps, or you use some different apps. But for me, those basic things are always the ones that work best for me. I know there's other stuff like on the Mac, like Things, or like what's another? There's a couple of really popular ones, task management softwares, right, that allow you to like track projects and all sorts of stuff. But I just use the most basic version of taking notes and setting myself reminders of when I need what, and I use that. I mean, I don't go overboard with it, but again, keeping everything, like I use it to offload my brain, right? So I don't have to keep on thinking about everything. And do you use anything like that as well, or do you actually maybe use a notepad or any like an actual?
No. I mean,
like, sketchbook.
A lot of times I write in my sketchbook, but
me too.
There is in Windows there's like a sticky note.
The sticky note thing. Yeah.
But you can put it in there. But for me, mainly is I've been getting a lot more into productivity and making sure that you're organizing stuff so that you don't have to constantly go, I forgot.
Exactly.
When's that deadline? Now it's all there. You can free your mind to do your work.
Exactly.
And really, pretty much that's all this is supposed to help you with.
Exactly.
And it'd be great to hear comment about what
what other people use. That would be
because we may pick up something new from you guys.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Exactly.
So
one last thing I wanted to mention though. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
One thing that I wanted to mention, and that's more like a habit thing rather than a particular app or program I use, is Inbox Zero. And I don't know if you've heard about that. No. So, I mean, it's just a way of dealing with emails. And I mean, again, there's no particular app for that or anything. It's just a way to deal with your inbox. And if you Google it, and I just Googled it, and I mean, you're gonna within the first 5 listings, you get like, okay, the step-by-step guide on how to achieve it, and then the third one is like why it is ruining your life, right? So there's as many arguments for it as there are against it.
So what does it do?
So inbox zero, I mean, very basically straightforward. It's like that you keep your inbox completely empty. You use it as like you use it in a way as a again, a task management kind of thing. So again, I use maybe not the original intended version of it, but maybe like a modified one. But I found a way how it works for me. So basically, it's like I get new emails and I check it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, like in the morning when I get up, and then maybe in the evening, and then maybe somewhere midday. So I don't keep on checking it constantly. But what I do is that there are certain categories of emails. I mean, there's pure spam, which just I delete anyway if it doesn't get filtered out. Then there's stuff that would, I mean, there's mostly like work-related stuff that would require either an answer right away. So if it's just like a quick email and I can like just say like, oh, thanks for that, or like, thanks for letting me know, or sorry, I can't help you right now. Kind of those things that where you can within like a minute or two write a reply. I reply to those right away. And then I archive that email right away, like in a work folder. I have very basic folder structure, like just like work and personal stuff, and maybe like finances, and maybe like, I don't know, when I'm online shopping receipts or whatever, and a very basic structure, and that's it. So there's also emails that require you to like kind of think about it for a bit longer and maybe write a more like a better reply, or it leads to another kind of action, right? So maybe the action is to set up a meeting, to click on accept for like a calendar invite, those kind of things, right? But I mean, with anything, it's the idea is that you either get what the email needs you to do right away, and then you archive it, or you kind of need to think about it for a moment and maybe get back to it later. And then you do that later at a certain time, and you set yourself a reminder to do that. But with anything, the goal is that you get any kind of email out of your inbox pretty much right away. And I mean, it works for me so far because I don't honestly get that many emails. Like it's manageable. But it's kind of like getting all the tasks done. And emails these days are pretty much only tasks you need to do. Get it done, get it out of the way, and get it out of your inbox. And then your inbox is free. And that kind of keeps my brain free. I mean, just as an example, like I know from other people, and I know from my wife or whatever, she keeps everything in the inbox. And it's like, I don't know, the counter for her inbox is like 10,000, 20,000 or whatever. And maybe there's no difference realistically if the email lives in your inbox or in an archived folder, right? Technically, it doesn't matter. As long as you get everything you need to do, you get it done. But for me, there's kind of like a psychological thing attached that when I see a full inbox, like I go crazy. So it actually works for me that my inbox is empty. That means I don't need to care about it. Everything that I need to take care of is already done, basically, right? So that's the idea behind it. And that kind of really helped me just kind of stay on top of things. I don't know. That's just kind of the what I wanted to let people know. And I think it's maybe if it helped me, it can help other people. But again, you see based on the Google listings that this is not the ultimate solution for everything, right? It's just one approach to deal with your tasks. Maybe if you feel like it's all getting too much and you're not getting anything done. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah. We're all artists, so we want to create more time and a better frame of mind to do the art, and not so much by swamped by emails. So so check these programs out.